Alright, so I made this channel for one reason, right? I didn't make this channel to get views. I didn't make this channel to get respect. I didn't get this channel to get any of that dumb bullshit, alright? I made this channel because I got a lot of shit that I gotta say, and I love speaking, okay? I just love ranting, and I love complaining, and I love bitching, okay? So, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to beg you to like my video. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to beg you to subscribe. If you want to listen to me, listen to what I have to say. And if not, just fucking leave. I don't care. I don't care. But anyway. I want to talk about the US dollar today, right? So, if we look at the United States dollar, right? It's a currency that was established several hundred years ago, right? And nowadays, it's borderline fucking worthless. Like, you look at the gas prices, you look at everything else, and we're sitting on this piece of paper that's just gone up in value. Like, it's not gone up in value in the traditional sense where, oh, now the dollar is worth more. No. Everything else around us has gone up in value. Gas prices are at an all-time high. Fucking turkey prices for Thanksgiving at an all-time high. And it's like, dude, like, nobody really gives a shit because, oh, we're just going to keep working. Oh, we're just going to have to get paid higher jobs. Like, no, that's not the fucking solution. And I would be a fool if I made this video without offering any kind of fucking solution, right? I'm not here to change the world. I'm not here to push an agenda. I'm not here to do anything but give you what I personally believe is the right answer. And I have data to back this shit up. So let's get into this, right? So, the US dollar has been steadily inflating. I'll pull up a fucking chart here for you guys to see. It's been steadily inflating ever since the fucking, like, 60s, right? It's just gotten more and more and more expensive, right? Ever since we abolished the gold standard back in the 30s, we've just taken a huge shit. Like, there's nothing to back up this currency whatsoever. So, here we are, after this huge pandemic, after all this, and we're sitting on this money that's borderline worthless. So I ask the question, what do we do about it, right? Many people are looking to me and then they're like, oh, well, what the hell are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? I can't do anything, personally. But if I were to, I would switch us over to some kind of decentralized exchange, right? Now, listen, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to suck off cryptocurrency, right? That's bullshit, okay? Everybody's doing that now. Everybody's on that wave. But I'm not talking about cryptocurrency in general. I'm talking about a currency in which the US government could still tax, but has intrinsic value, which is basically meaning people give this value based not on what they give it, but based on actual value, right? So with cryptocurrency, it's validated through something called, a blockchain. Yeah, everybody knows what the fuck I'm talking about right now. I'm not going to sit here and explain it, but basically, if we get this currency and we're able to verify its price, verify its value, and give it a value based on how much fiat currency goes into it, we're pretty much safe from fucking inflation, you know? Sure, it's more of a gamble, but there are things like stablecoin and other shit like that, you know? There's ways around it, I'm sure. Listen, that's shit that's way above me, but granted, there are ways to get around it. However, my main problem here is that nobody wants to do this. Like, there's no government official talking about this. Like, you got the puppet Joe Biden in office. What the fuck's he doing? He's just sitting here giving money to China, giving money to the fucking Americans. Like, oh, that's great. You know, I love my $1,400, but what good's that gonna do? Fucking, like, 3 tanks of gas? Like, it makes no sense to me. I'm an average man. I got average goals. I got average ambition. And I don't see why I should work in the workforce at this point if I'm just going to be paid fucking pennies, you know? It makes no sense. So, fuck, man. I propose that the US dollar over the course of several years, right? It's not going to be instant. I understand that. You know, it's going to take years for us to switch this over. And for us to switch this over is a monumental task, right? But look at how much has been done during the pandemic. I mean, the American dream for years was always to work from home, right? Like, we would always love to, oh, I would love to work from home, dude. I would fucking love to. And here we are. So, for this kind of a change, I see it as people need to be willing to accept this kind of change. which is definitely the biggest hurdle. But as soon as people, and more people are coming around to this, more people are starting to invest in this kind of virtual shit. And a lot of these people don't even understand how it works, right? Like, a lot of these people just see it as a number going up, right? It has value, it has value. But this coin, this digital currency has value because of one thing. It's verified through the use of computers. It's verified using technology, right? It's not being verified through bank tellers. It's not at risk of human inflation or human error. It's propped up by itself, which is the beauty of it all. And I think that if we're going to go anywhere as a species, I'm not even talking about America. I don't give a fuck about America at this point, but if we're going to go anywhere as a species, we need to start incorporating serious changes in our system because, again, we live in a very antiquated system. Everything that we do is old and outdated. And I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to be like, I hate the Constitution, that's got to change. No, dude, we have the guidelines in place and we've done a great job at establishing that. But we haven't gotten down to the intricacies of an economy. We haven't gotten down to the fine line of really any of this. So what I propose is the government will issue this currency, right? Kind of like a stimulus, right? We'll use that dirty word. So they issue this stimulus, and people begin to take interest, right? The government does what fucking Australia did during the goddamn Emu War, where they're like, all right, so how if you bring what they did during the buyback, even like you bring in all your guns, you bring in all these dead fucking emus, and we'll give you money for it, right? So if we take all of the American money, right? We take all of this fiat currency and dump it into a global exchange, right? Not just America, a global exchange, a decentralized exchange. We're then able to not only make more money from said money, but we're able to switch off of this old currency. Which, again, it sounds crazy. It sounds insane, and I'm sure there are flaws with it. But it's really the only answer. If you go and you scour the fucking internet, I guarantee you that nobody has an answer. People will have answers, and people will have this, and people will have this to say, but it's all based on opinion. It's all based on how they feel the U.S. economy should end up. If we're going to progress as a species in this world, we need to progress with not only ourselves as a country, but we need to use the other countries, if they're not going to work in unison, to propagate our country and push us further, to get us up out of this debt. So let's just say, here, I'll look it up right now. Global GDP of America. Not global, American GDP, right? The American GDP. $20.94 trillion, right? Had that money been dumped into something like Bitcoin or Ethereum, or even really any fucking coin, that would cause the price of the coin to skyrocket. Not only for America, right? Not only for everybody who simultaneously dumped into this currency, but for the other countries as well. Now, you may be asking, what if people just decide to withdraw all their money and cause the price to go down and write off that initial investment? See, that's where we need to immediately nullify the U.S. currency, right? So as soon as you give your money back to the banking institutions, right? As soon as they have the go-ahead to dump your money into this exchange, the U.S. dollar is gone. It's literally a split-second event that needs to occur. People need to prepare for this for years ahead of time. And when this event happens, the U.S. dollar will be worthless in comparison. Now, the only real issue that I could see arising from this is people refusing to change and people refusing this new way. But to what I say is, you need to accept reality here. Your money is losing value, whether you like it or not. Your money that you saved since the 80s has lost a substantial amount of value. You may have worked your entire life hoping to live off of that money. You may have saved and saved and saved and saved and saved. only for that dollar now to be worth nearly like half of what it was when you were working. Like it's worthless now, dude. You have to look at the dollar like an investment, right? The US dollar in comparison to the rest of the world is an investment. Every currency is an investment due to inflation, right? It has the potential. Look at Zimbabwe. Look at Venezuela. Look at all of these countries that have been ravaged by inflation, right? The fucking Zimbabweans started printing $100 trillion bills just to keep up with it. Like, dude, that's not how that works. But fuck, man, I don't know. All I have to say about this, all that I really have to say about this, is there is no other way apart from burning trillions of dollars, or apart from printing more money to push us further into debt. Like, there's no way to save the US dollar at this point. It's too far gone. The debt is too far gone. We do not have enough money to make up for the national debt. We don't have enough money. And not only that, Americans themselves are in fucking crippling debt. Like, we are in such debt to these countries, to not even these countries, to the fucking institutions, the colleges, the banks, all of this shit. We're in crippling debt. And what I propose is that instead of getting a flat, at least in New York State, it's like 8 to 11% depending on your income, your overall income. So you lose 8 to 10%, right? Now, what I propose is, instead of that, you take that money and you get it in full, right? So you get your full amount, right? Everything you would need. Everything you worked for is immediately put into your bank account. Now, if you decide to spend that money on anything, right? On anything whatsoever, you are going to pay that 8%. Okay? So say you get a $1,000 paycheck, right? And we'll round it off to 10% to call it easy. So you get a $1,000 paycheck, and you go to the store to buy $100 worth of groceries. You got to pay $10 on top of that. So not only is that a more favorable option when compared to something like sales tax, that's also favorable for the American public to incentivize saving money. Which, let's all be real here, the Americans have a huge problem with spending money. So, the government is able to not only make back more money than if they were to tax income completely, the American public would be in a better spot because they would be able to save more money. And sure, you would have to spend more money. You know, there are going to be people who spend. But at the end of the day, out of that $1,000 paycheck that you got, it would take 10 transactions of $100 to even cost a fraction of what that would have been through federal income tax. It makes no sense to do it this way anymore. The government would make more money because the Americans love to spend. All that I know is it's not gonna work like this. And we can't keep going like this. This video is already too fucking long as it is, so I'm gonna have to cut this shit way down. But anyway, I don't give a fuck what you do. Subscribe, I don't care. Just don't be a sheep. That's all I gotta say. Don't fucking give into it. And especially fuck you, YouTube. Okay, fuck you too, YouTube, you asshole. You're gonna monetize this. I can't make money off this shit ever. I'm not gonna censor myself for your fucking stupid ass. Get out of here. Shoo. Eat shit and die.